welcome everybody. It's so nice to see you all here. This is our second VRDI event we're hosting here, and we love what you guys do, so we're thrilled you're all here. Plexel is a co-working space and innovation centre for startups who either work with technology or want to work with technology.
The reason that we're doing this is because we believe that everybody should be part of the conversation. People that work in VR right now, they usually come from gaming or tech, and it's usually a white male-dominated industry, and they're not thinking about different ways or different perspectives for a project. And so therefore, I believe the more people we bring in, the more solutions that we're able to have for problems in virtual or augmented or mixed reality. This really is, I think, an opportunity for you guys to learn skills that are usually unavailable.
So we did introduction to 360 filmmaking, everything to do with the different kinds of cameras that are used, different kinds of headsets, how to film, how to understand like positioning and angles, and how to understand your audience and what you need to do and to create a meaningful, immersive experience that's different from typical filmmaking. And then we went out and we were shooting all around the canal, and we did like a little documentary about like life in Hackney Wick, just like out and about in the area. Got some great shots of like graffiti and just kind of like life in the area in general. And then we did editing, all like the post-production, just like the basics of editing, putting music on top and cutting the film. Yeah, that's it. Fire up.
So you need an Android program for it to connect?
Yeah, it's called just Samsung Gear 360, that's it. So I'm going to show you here. Everybody wants to like come gather around and look here. So like this is what we're seeing on the camera right now. This is the shot.
We'd like to introduce it as a training aid. So what we learned with the cameras is parameters of what you can use it for. And you know, especially in our game, people end up falling off so wheelchair basketball, for instance, for myself, I lost a lot of training last year because I lost my other leg. So Keith wants to do it so he can bring training to me. You know, from a hospital bed, from somebody that's at home. You know, if we can do it for basketball, why can't we do it for any other sport? And not just disability sport, for any sport. We worked out that, you know, from a basketball court point of view, is how many cameras we could need, how many we would need, and how many we would actually use.
I mean, I already make training videos, and they could be so much better with what we've learned today. I work at a university at the moment as my day job. I want to bring that into the university, and that will be more of the augmented reality or the interaction with CAD-based programs.
And instead of field, direction.
How were your group today?
Oh, they were so good. Like, I've never seen a group more engaged than that. They were so enthusiastic, and they just got it, and they produced some really, really fun demos. Other stuff which is kind of expensive, but the omnidirectional treadmills, you have the controllers and you grab the steam and you pull it towards you. Cool. So, I've opened up the watch tag.
One of the problems that I'm having at the moment is that I'm no longer able to communicate as effectively as I used to be able to do. I had brain surgery about six and a half years back, and it's because of that. Apart from the epilepsy, it's motor control I've still got, which is like that side of things is cool, but I'm still having problems with my speech and my communication skills. Okay, this was just an introductory course, but at the same time I can see like, oh yeah, I can work with this. I can see how it all fits together within the context of the programming stuff that I learned in the last 20, 30, 25. 30-something years, and I can see how I can actually use this to improve my communication skills in order to be able to better enable the stuff that I'm trying to work on.
So yes, we taught an introduction to building virtual reality to run in the web browser. We taught introduction to A-Frame, which is a library to allow you to do virtual reality using custom HTML elements. And I think it was pretty friendly and people had a good time.
I think initially it looks a lot more intimidating than it is, but I think as long as you can paste the attributes in the right place and everything, it can be quite easy to pick up.
WebVR, yeah, I think it's fantastic. It kind of can circumvent a lot of problems that people have in accessibility to VR, because you don't necessarily need to have this like high-end, headset. You're not going to need this high-end computer. You can even do it with a mobile phone, cardboard headset if you need to.
It's like getting rid of this sort of thing like, oh, VR is just so over there. I mean, it is complex, but anyone can get.
I felt confident coming to this workshop because for the first time I wasn't the only disabled attendee, and there were significant disabilities here for a change. People in wheelchairs or people that had visible conditions. So for me it was fantastic. I wasn't the only. For once, I wasn't the only disabled attendee at one of these things.
Happy birthday to you.
So we had a varied project today which covered various different aspects of the game engine, from animation to collision and physics engines, and what I wanted to do was a kind of hybrid between virtual reality and 360 film to give you a kind of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids vibe. So the game that we were designing was you being 1% your size on the surface of a laptop with 360 footage all around you, which gave you kind of scale of being much, much smaller and defending it against viruses. So it was varied, and I think everyone enjoyed it.
Yes, we did.
Yeah?
Yes, we did.
Don't all back me up on this.
The best part about this workshop was before I came, if you said VR to me, all I knew was a headset.
But I think it's very important that this be a regular thing, more so than it is now. And I'm hoping that, we all stick together and see where things go. And we also try and get some other sessions going, soon as possible.
Yeah, basically I just wanted to learn how to, very simply use 360 video in my events, and I think I know how to do it now.
Trouble Unity is like the tutorials. It's one of 30, so you've got to go through 30 tutorials to learn. So I really just wanted to have a workshop, force myself. The instructor was great, the pace was good, and also I came to this event just to meet other like-minded people. So I've won a few hackathons, and I enter hackathons using a code or someone else, but I've always wanted to do a VR one, which is that I didn't really learn enough and I don't have time, so I thought, well, if I come to this workshop, I'll have some skills and take them away. So really enjoyed it, and I love Plexel as well, been here before, so
Thank you guys all for coming for today. I hope you guys all learned something valuable, and that it was skills that you're going to be using for future projects. Hopefully you guys will be potentially working together.
All of us that have attended the event, I'd like to thank the organizers. You guys have been awesome. At the end of the day, this is what's needed. Folks like you to sort of step up and, like I said, make things happen. Because, like I said, there are a lot of us out there that are sort of waiting for things to happen. But thanks for stepping up, and I think let's give them a big round of applause. The organizers. Come on, guys.